All right, we're live. Thank
We
you so
are.
much. Yay! It's a
And
party here.
everyone can hear everyone.
We can hear each other now.
Yes.
Yes. So last week, unfortunately, earlier this week, we had some
Yeah.
technical difficulties, but we're doing it today.
We are
Yes.
here. Thank God.
Yes.
Thank God.
I
We're
am
here and we're
joined.
live.
Oh my goodness. I am joined by my favorite guest. You've been on with me. We've chatted 4 times online.
Yeah,
You were,
yeah. This is
yeah.
my fourth time. I'm officially your stalker. I'm your stalker fan, right? I'm your biggest stan. I think that's what the kids calling it. Yeah, four times, and I'm gonna keep coming. I'm going to keep coming.
Yay!
Yeah.
Well, you're the best stalker ever. You're so sweet. And you know what? We are going to talk about your awesome book, Mike Nero, in the Superhero School. I am so excited. I
Yeah.
think I left the superheroes. I got superhero. I left the school off. So I'm going to have to go ahead and put that down. But I would like to let you take it away. This is my beautiful friend, Natasha. We met in the Right
Hi.
Published Cell group.
Yes.
We were both fledgling authors at the time. And, we connected
Mhm.
hearing her story. Actually, the very first story that I heard was about your Happy Tears and Rainbow Babies, which
Yes.
had to do with loss, pregnancy and loss.
Yes.
And I just got goosebumps about that again. So, but we're going to talk about this book today,
Mhm.
Mike Nero. So I'm going to let you take it away. I'm going to shut my face right now. So you
So
go
thank
ahead.
you. I just have to say thank you again for having me on. It's always great sharing the space with you and your wonderful audience. So hi to everyone who's hearing me wherever you are in the world. So like Melinda said, my name is Natasha and I am an author. I'm a children's author and you know, I always tell people that when I write books, I write with a very specific audience in mind, and that's my two children. So everything that I've written with a very, very specific audience. And thankfully, the stories are able to meet other people in other spaces, and we can share, just really these human experiences. So I'm here today because my new book, Mike Nero and the Superhero School, which I have right here in my hand, I have it in my hand, is set to launch on February 1st, just in time for Kindness Month. So, Mike Nero and the Superhero School tells the story of just an incredible group of students, an incredible group of children, some of whom happen to have special needs. But they all exist in this one school where they work together, they learn together, they play together, and they grow together. And, you know, they each have a very special ability and a very special way of using that ability to make their school a better place. And, I remember just like all my other stories, this book came out of a very particular experience that I was having, in that my son was going through the process of being diagnosed. We did not know what his diagnosis would be yet, but we, along with his doctor, we really understood that he would have some challenges. And being a parent, the very first thing I thought was, oh God, what would school be like for him? What would happen to my son at school? Would he meet kids who are kind? Would he meet teachers who are willing to understand him and teach him? And would he, be able to be brave and make friends? And you've read the book, these are exactly the themes that we explore in this book. We explore themes of, how do kids build friendships? And we explore themes of kindness. What does it mean to be kind to others and to make others feel included? And, one of the very, very special themes of this book to me, is the influence of the adults in this book. And I particularly wrote these adults because, in my heart, these were the type of adults that I hope every child who feels different or has additional needs would meet in their lifetime. So we have a very special principal who's one of my favorite characters ever. And the way he guides these children to explore themselves and explore each other in kindness and in love, it's really just, it's my hope for my son. It's my hope for every child. And, I'm a writer, and that's what we do. We write our ideas in hopes of changing the world, and this we pour our ideas into books, and that's what it is. And I'm really proud of this book. I love this book so much. It's my first time not, my last book was really kind of autobiographical in a way,
Yes.
but this is a little bit more of me exploring my life as an author and as a writer. So it's it's a book that I'm very, very proud of, and I'm so happy to share it with you guys today.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of you too. And you're right; it is very different than the
Yes.
first one, the Happy Tears. And I love the characters. You're right; the principal, everybody in it is just
Yes.
so sweet and so kind. And it is exactly how I wish my kids would be treated in school.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
with differences and little quirks and things that they
Mhm.
have, that someone would just show them that friendship and love. And the way you describe things, it's so wonderful. And at the end, I don't want to give too much away on how you give a description of something right at the
Mhm.
very end. And wow, that was just, everything was said so wonderfully.
Yes.
Sometimes you read these things and they sound so medical, but this is like, it
Mhm.
has such a wonderful flow. It really does.
Yeah, and I think because really I didn't want to write a book about special needs kids. I wanted to write a book about kids who had these incredible abilities, whether they had additional needs or not. These kids were more than what they are on paper. They were more than their medical diagnosis. And each one of them gave was so they were so big. Each one of them had so much character that their their perceived needs or their perceived differences was almost by the way. It was not what defined them, and
Right.
that's my hope for every child.
Yes.
That they can be accepted for who they are and what they can do, as opposed to just being different or being seen as different.
Right. Right. And speaking of your kids, what do they think?
Well, my daughter, I write for my kids, but they're also my harshest critics, right? They're very, very, they're my, they're my kids. So my daughter loves the story. She loves reading it. She likes it as a piece of literature. She's really into books and words, and so she loves the story. But my son, my muse, he thinks that none of the characters look like him, and
Oh,
he's like, where's me? Why didn't you put me?
oh,
But fun fact, he is in the book. He makes a very, very interesting cameo in the book, and I purposefully did it that way because this was a different book from Happy Tears and Rainbow Babies.
right.
And but my kids, he just wanted to see himself in another book. But that's fine. He likes the story as well. We have fun reading it, and we have fun going through the book. Yeah.
And
But
so, what challenges have you guys faced? I mean, have you had any ridicule? Any has he had anything? Have you guys had anything from friends, family?
I mean,
When you
I think that for a lot of kids, particularly with my son, he would have what we would call an invisible disability, in that it's not a physical disability.
right,
My son has been diagnosed with ADHD. So I think a lot of people kind of assume that to be a behavioral issue as opposed to an actual issue. So people might have their opinions, but for my part, it's just about educating family and friends about what his needs are, and you know, I don't just want people in the world to be kind to my son. I want my son to be kind to others as well. I want my son to understand that he has a future, and I have the same expectations for him and hopes and dreams for him that I have for my daughter. And his life will be amazing because I trust his life to God, and I know that God will take care
mm,
of him. So we're doing our
amen.
part, but he's going to be okay. And We will attend to his challenges as they happen, but we're not going to lower our expectations for him. We're not going to coddle him or anything. We will be as excited about his future as we are about our daughter's future. And I want to give him that confidence in his own future. So
Oh, good. That is wonderfully said. That's wonderfully
yeah.
said. And I'm glad you mentioned that about ADHD being more than just behavioral, because honestly, in my mind, I can remember when we first started talking about ADHD
Yes.
and ADD and so on. And I remember
Mhm.
specifically, and now this is going like 20 years ago. So some time ago, I remember I was part of a mom's group, and in the
Mhm.
mom's group, one of the children, they were one of the little boy, he was like bouncing off the walls. I swore he had like 10 what we call pixie sticks, just tubes of sugar, that colored sugar.
Right. Yes.
And I thought for sure that's what he had. But
Mhm.
she said, no, he has ADD. Well, I
Mhm.
don't know what that is. What is that? And,
Yeah.
she tried her best to explain it to us.
Mhm.
But, and it just seemed like he was such a problem child. Like, man, he's always getting into trouble. And I don't even think he was like on Ritalin or anything, any type of
Mhm.
drugs at that time. They just tried their best to do
Yeah.
corrections at what they could.
Yeah.
So, but he was a handful for them. He really was. So that's
Mhm.
why in my mind, when someone says that, and the only reason why I say that's my older daughter,
Mhm.
she is 22. She was recently diagnosed as an adult with
Oh,
ADHD.
okay.
So, and
Okay.
it's like, I don't see it. That's when I
Mhm.
told the doctor a couple of years ago, I said,
Yes.
this isn't like the same thing, that little boy bouncing up and down, and
Yeah.
it's,
Yes.
it's different. So getting that education out, thank you for
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
Now I have a better understanding of it, of course,
Yeah.
but I didn't back then. So thank you for
You
coming
know,
forward with that.
and really, my mind goes to, and this is one of the reasons why I wrote this book, because my mind goes to what must that little boy's experience at school have been.
Right.
You know, we can control our homes, we can control our friends, but
Yes.
they have to go to school. Our kids have to go to school, and are they going to meet teachers who are willing to understand? And I have
Right.
so much respect for teachers because I know the job is not easy, and that's why I was so honoring of the teachers in this book, because we really
Yes.
saw them work with these kids, and we saw them be the best versions of teachers that we hear about. And I have so much respect for them and for the job that they do, and it is really my hope that we when we send our kids out there, everyone, when we send our kids out there, that they meet teachers who are engaging and just meet them in love. And you
Yes.
can tell that that was important to me because it came out so strongly in the book.
It did. It
Yeah.
did. It did. And I was almost jealous. It's like, I wish my teachers were like that. They
Right.
were, everything had
Yeah.
such a lovely way of explaining what this child was going through, what they are,
Mhm.
and it was like, oh, it's just this, it's just that, like, oh, and it's
Yeah.
all ages. It's so
Mhm.
easy to, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
all ages can understand that it's nothing that's going to be above anyone's head. And I'm going to ask you, so what made you, or why was this such a focus and not adults?
Well, I really, there's this really famous quote, and I'm so upset that I can't remember who wrote it, but it basically says, if something's too difficult to talk to adults about, if something's too difficult to write for adults, write it for children. And
Okay.
really, it says that because that's where not only are they the future, but they are going to be the ones making the big decisions in a few years. We're not always going to be here. This isn't our world. And you learn when you become a parent, you realize that in a way that you never did before. This is not your world. You are creating a world to be left for someone else. And I
Right.
wanted my children to see opportunity to be kind. And I wanted them to look around their room and see the kid who is, who's lonely, or the child who needs a friend. And I wanted them to be able to step up and be the friend. I wanted them to be
Right.
brave like Mikey and to see the best in their schoolmates and step up to it. So it was important to me, one, because I want to have these conversations with my children, but I want everyone to have these conversations with their children. And as they're having these conversations, I hope that the parents and the adults are convicted to do the same.
Yes, and I'm so glad you said that because right around the time that I was honored, by the way, to view the book and read that, like the next day I saw this horrific video. I won't go into details, but it had to do with a autistic teen boy and another group of
Mm,
boys that well, he
okay.
got beat up. And
Mm,
I thought about your book. It's like exactly like what
yeah.
if those boys knew,
Yeah.
and it just broke my heart. I'm getting all choked up right now thinking about it, like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
You know,
yes,
and
definitely.
but at the teenage years, it's that's late. We wanna get these stories
No,
in and these messages in earlier, as early as
right,
we could.
right.
So hopefully we would have less of that happening.
Oh, I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
so. Now, do you have any other ideas for future books?
I mean, there's so many stories that I want to tell. But I feel as if one of the things I would like to do in the future is write maybe to adults. So maybe write something nonfiction to adults, just sharing some of the things that I've learned, being a lost mom to rainbow mom,
Yeah.
you know. So maybe
Ooh.
we're praying about it. We're praying about it. But whatever I do, I'll come to you first.
Yay!
You know that.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. This has been such a lovely, lovely chat.
Yeah,
And
thank
I
you so
like the
much.
awareness around it. And again, I
Hmm.
hope this is heard around the world and
Yeah.
others can pick that up. And again, when is the official launch of the book?
So the book launches February 1st.
Okay, February
So,
1st.
which kicks off Kindness Month, and it's a month that we really dedicate to
Okay.
talking about kindness and teaching kindness. And so I do have some fun things lined up with some
Ooh.
schools in my country. So we're gonna do some lessons on kindness and being brave and making friends and all of those things. So I
Oh,
am
good.
excited.
Oh, how
I'm really excited.
lovely.
Yes.
Then that was going to be another question if you were in the schools chatting about your book. So
Yes. So
wonderful.
I have some schools lined up. We are still virtual, so we're
Okay.
doing it virtually, but we're gonna have fun either way.
Very
Hmm.
cool. I love
Yes.
that. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Well, I won't keep you. I'm so
Hmm.
glad that this went. It went
Yes.
well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so so very much.
Oh, yes. And if anybody
Yeah.
wants to reach out to Natasha, please do so.
Hmm.
I should have included
Please
your
do.
Facebook page and I didn't do that. Shame on me. Let me see if I can get that up real quick. And if anybody's watching, they've seen me
I would
mute
love to hear. I
close.
would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your
Awesome.
stories of your own kids, and what worked for you, what didn't work. So please let me know. I'm always happy to talk to you guys.
That she is. And she's so
Hmm.
nice. I mean, honestly, she is such a sweetheart. And I'm
Thank
going to
you,
share.
Melinda.
Oh,
So are
you're
you.
welcome. Oh, stop. Let me get this in here too. I'm going to put this in the comments section. So if anybody would like to reach out, Miss Joe's on. Hi, Miss Joe. All right, so there is her author page. You can reach her there
Hmm.
if you have any questions, or again, give her a shout out. Let her know your stories of your kids. And of
Yeah.
course, she'll update her page so you can see all that goodness and everything that's coming
And
out with
and
her
we are
launch.
and I would love to say this to your audience. We're looking for, anyone who's willing to do an advance read of the book. If you want to tell us your thoughts on the book, I would love to have you. Just send me a message and I'll add you to our launch list.
That
So,
would be awesome.
yeah.
Yay. Oh, yes. Her kids are feral. Miss Joe.
Samantha.
Thanks, Joe.
We love kids in their natural states, and that's fine. That's fine. The kids come in all different states, so we love them.
That they do. All right, sweetheart. I'm going to let you go. And so, Joe, thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
tuning in.
much
Everybody
again.
else, and thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. This has been such a pleasure and
Yes.
heartwarming, and it's a good
Yeah.
story. It really is.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Joe, she's she's got a child story. Ben ate the dry meat of a leg of a dead sheep. Oh, well, that I
Oh
did
my
not need to
god.
share.
Okay. Okay.
On that note, we're gonna end. Thanks, Joe.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
You're
Bye,
welcome. Thanks
everyone.
everybody for watching. Thanks, Joe. Thank you for that picture.